All right, now a word about the Democratic Party. This is a party that claims they have a monopoly of compassion for the poor, the working class in America, but we all know that in reality, they are now the party that caters to the Hollywood elite, Wall Street elite, the rich and powerful. It's a party that puts the radical climate agenda above the working people in America. I always say the forgotten men and women in America. And they're the ones that are okay with importing energy abroad. Doesn't impact their wallet that much. Instead of producing it, domestic oil, energy right here at home, it's the party with the economic and energy policies that are crushing the middle class and working class in this country. It is the Democratic politicians. They're the ones that lie and say that they're not going to raise taxes on people making under $400,000 a year. And what did Joe Biden do? Turn around. He wants taxes on oil, gas, coal, pensions, and corporations. Corporations don't pay taxes. They pass that cost on to all of us. Now, 2/3 of the country, as a result, are living paycheck to paycheck. We have people now tapping into their pension accounts for bare necessities. We have other Americans now paying bills with credit cards. This year, the average household was hit with a $10,000 Biden inflation tax. That's how much he's driven this economy into the ground. Now, Biden says the American taxpayer won't pay for his, will have to pay. They're not going to pay for the billionaire banker buddy bailout of Biden. This is a lie. What you're about to watch is one big, huge lie. Take a look.
No losses will be, and this is an important point, no losses will be borne by the taxpayers. Let me repeat that. No losses will be borne by the taxpayers. Instead, the money will come from the fees that banks pay into the Deposit Insurance Fund.
Who pays the fees? That would be the taxpayers. Another lie of Biden. Anyway, Biden let the working class people of this country, remember, just like in East Palestine, they were dangling in the toxic wind for weeks on end without saying or doing a thing. By the way, when are you going to visit East Palestine, Joe? And when the ultra-elite Silicon Valley Bank imploded on Friday, it took Joe Biden less than one business day to send a giant pile of your cash, billions and billions of dollars to SVB to ensure that every single millionaire, billionaire, tech CEO and winemaker was repaid in full. Even the uber-wealthy governor of California, Gavin Newsom, well, he was a client at SVB. Three of his wine companies, three of them, used the bank. And get this, an executive at the bank allegedly sits on the board of his wife's charity, but Newsom, he failed to mention any of that during his effusive praise of Biden's billionaire bailout. Instead of making sound financial decisions, SVB championed every woke cause and social trend imaginable. They committed $5 billion to, quote, carbon-neutral operations, to an obsessive company-wide focus on race, gender, sexual orientation, everything woke. The bank used all the right buzzwords and made all the right, quote, connections. Its board was filled with Democratic mega donors, including one with a passion for improv. Of the 12 board members, only one had significant banking experience. As it turns out, the board's connections to the Democratic Party would prove very valuable. The self-proclaimed party of the working class always protects their ultra-wealthy donors. So both SVB and the other bank that imploded, Signature, that's Barney Frank's bank, donated big money to Democrats, and like SVB, Signature was also intertwined with the Democratic Party. As I mentioned, remember Dodd-Frank? Well, that was named after Barney Frank, the former Democratic congressman and co-author of the Dodd-Frank regulatory bill. Well, that sat on Signature's board. He was on the board, and he actively lobbied his Democratic friends to remove regulations put in place by his own bill. Naturally, Signature also championed woke causes. The chairman of the bank even personally led a seminar on gender-neutral pronouns. So, as you can imagine, all of Signature's clients were also bailed out. Another billionaire Joe Biden buddy bailout. It's your money that's being paid to pay off everybody. And by the way, I guess hard work doesn't pay off for the working men and women in this country. Seems like it's about who you know, how much money you donate, what left-wing cause you champion. This should make you furious as we speak. The Biden administration is now essentially printing money to bail out woke millionaires, billionaires that support their party. And you will pay every single penny of this. And by the way, for everything sent through inflation, speaking of which, inflation contributes to this, climb up 6% since last year. Anyway, here with reaction from the hit show Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary. Mr. O'Leary, sir, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
Did I get this right that you had money in SVB, a lot of money?
I had many of the companies that we invested in our private equity portfolio from Circle on down. Circle had about $3 billion, and that was the largest depositor, and others. And, when you're in my situation, you don't care that much about politics. You care about policy. And so you make your decisions every day. My job is to get up in the morning and put millions of dollars to work. I really care about policy. And what I see here, regardless of where you stand in politics, is a pretty bad policy, because what we did, in my view, it's a personal opinion, over the weekend is to nationalize the American banking system. We basically told everybody around the world, regardless of who you are and what bank you're in, no matter how much you have, we guarantee it. We don't care who you are or why it's there, but no matter what happens, it's guaranteed. So just think about it. And I'd like to keep this very simple. I'm a bank manager in a bank today after this new policy decision, and I get compensated on the value of my bank's stock. You just told me I could take all the depositors' money, go to Las Vegas, put it on red. Maybe I double it, maybe I lose it all, but it doesn't matter to me, because you, the taxpayer, and the government guarantee all my depositors. As long as I play by the rules that we have now and the football rules of banking, I get to go crazy. And I think this is a very bad mistake.
You called it a victory for idiot bank managers. I'm not trying to get into your own personal finances. The reason I was asking that question is that we all know the FDIC insures up to $250,000. I'm assuming that you had a lot more money in there than $250,000. So you will be the beneficiary
Yes.
of this bailout, like every other depositor at SVB. However, the difference between you and probably everybody else is you're saying this bank should not be bailed out. Am I wrong on that?
No, you're not. This bank was run by idiots with an incompetent board. It's one bank. No one ever heard the name before. Now it's internationally famous.
Why the hell did you keep your money? Kevin, you're a smart guy. Why did you keep your money there if it was run by idiots?
No, it's one of many, many banks I keep my money in. And look, I'm a big boy, and my whole point is, if you have more than $250,000 in any institution, you're basically a hedge fund or a savvy investor or a business. You understand your risks and you act accordingly. So I think the Fed's mandate about keeping FDIC insurance at $250 makes sense to me. But we changed all that over the weekend. We said, doesn't matter how much you have. And I understand we want to keep confidence in the banking system. What I would have preferred is to allow this bank run by idiots, and I'm sorry to say these harsh words, but it's a fact. This is Silicon Valley Bank is the poster boy for idiot management now. That brand is radioactive waste. And so at the end of the day, let this thing go under, because that's our democratic, capitalist system, because when you're an idiot and it goes to zero, that's okay. Most of the people that had money, including me, above $250,000 in my portfolio companies, we can take the hit. I get it. That happens sometimes. But I'll tell you what I've done since then. I've told all my CEOs and all of our portfolios, we don't want any more than 20% in any one institution, so we diversified across many institutions. And frankly, what I see now, as an investor in bank stocks, I won't invest anymore, because you're basically telling me that from now on, the regulatory environment on small regional banks is going to be so punitive, I don't think they can make money anymore. Remember this is the really key issue for everybody in America to think about. There are 11 sectors in our economy. We are the greatest economy on earth. One of them is financial services. It's the only sector that services all other 10. We have to make a decision. Do we want to turn this into a utility to service the other 10, or do we want it to be private? If it's private, you have to let the idiots go to zero. And we didn't do that this weekend.
All right, Kevin O'Leary, we appreciate you coming on. Shark Tank is doing well. Congrats on that. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.